Hello, Jeff Gascoigne here, producer of the Quartet Jazz Play-Along app series. With the recent release of Quartet Volume 3 and 4, along with a major upgrade to the app's core infrastructure, I wanted to share a quick overview of the new features and how to make the most of them. The Quartet apps are an essential tool for jazz instrumentalists and vocalists, and now with over 500 high-quality backing tracks spanning all 4 volumes, they're more powerful than ever. Each track is performed exclusively for Quartet by 9 of the world's top jazz musicians, providing an authentic and inspiring play-along experience.
So there are currently 4 volumes of the Quartet app. Volume 1 contains 150 jazz standards. Volume 2 has another 150 songs. Volume 3 has a further 100, and Volume 4 another 100. So that's 500 songs across all 4 apps. Tapping any of the album cover artworks will take you to the main play screen for that song. So let's take a look at the Rodgers & Hart standard, I Could Write a Book, to demonstrate how Quartet works. This is a song featured in Quartet Volume 1. So now we're looking at the main play screen for this song. By default, the app will play the rhythm section, piano, bass and drums. If I tap the settings cog, I can access a panel of settings for each song, including the 8 alternative mixes. So let's take a look at those. So if I want to hear the soloist on top of the rhythm section, I select the Quartet mix. If I'm a pianist, for example, then I will probably want to select bass and drums mix. If I'm playing the bass, then I'm likely to select the piano and drums mix. And for drummers, there's the piano and bass mix. And there are various other mixes which also include the solo instrument. The settings or configuration panel also allows users to set up a count-in, transpose the chord chart, and set the number of section repeats. The count-in is for either 1 or 2 bars, and then you can choose between an audible, traditional count-in or a silent visual one. There is a transposition feature for both B-flat and E-flat instruments, and the repeat selector allows you to set the number of section repeats, in other words the track length. The app will remember all of the changes you make in this panel so that they're there when you come back to that song. Also, if I want to export the stereo mix, which only takes a few seconds by the way, I tap the export audio icon and the exported recording will reflect all the changes made to the song in the settings panel. If you want to export the separated audio parts as high quality WAV files, then that's a separate in-app purchase, I'm afraid. But just to say that all of Quartet's audio is offered to you royalty free, so there's lots of creative possibilities for you in that respect. So let's select another song from the menu. How about Chega de Saudade from Quartet Volume 2. Now by default this song is in D minor and its tempo is 190 beats per minute. I can easily change key or tempo as I will demonstrate here. I can change the key here in semitone increments up or down. Tap reset key to go back to the default D minor. And changing tempo is simply a case of tapping the plus or minus buttons like this. To restore tempo to its original state, simply tap Reset Tempo. And as with all the other song settings, the app will automatically save any changes you make. If you want to loop a section of the song, for practice for example, simply tap the loop button here. By default, this sets up a 4-bar loop, which can then easily be shortened or extended. Quartet also includes animated chord diagrams for piano, guitar and ukulele for each of the 500 songs. So one of the most exciting developments with the latest Quartet updates is the new Playlists Plus section. So in any of the 4 Quartet apps, I can now call up the entire Quartet song library and search all 500 jazz standards in a number of different ways. Typically, I can search the catalogue by song title, composer, beats per minute, key, etc. even by notable artists. In other words, artists that have covered that particular jazz standard. And from this screen you can hear a sample of the song, identify which app the song appears in, and easily select any song that you might want to include in a playlist. Playlists can be set to autoplay, and they will, by default, sync across all the editions of Quartet that you own. So let's demonstrate with a search on the word Gillespie, as in Dizzy Gillespie. So the search returns 28 songs for Dizzy Gillespie. Those songs where Gillespie is the composer appear as keywords, and those songs where Gillespie is a notable performer appear as associated keywords. To play any song directly from the playlists page, simply tap on the album cover artwork in the usual way, and you'll go straight to the play screen for that song in whichever of the Quartet apps it's featured, like so. So essentially, the new app infrastructure lets you control all 4 editions of Quartet from any one of the apps. We're very excited about this from a workflow perspective. Finally, a word about playlists. You can create multiple playlists selecting any song from any of the apps. Playlists will autoplay and be synced across all the editions you own. You can export and import your playlists with friends and colleagues and easily change the order of the songs within each playlist. And in Edit Playlist mode, you can add or delete songs from the song library. In terms of connectivity, the latest Quartet update also includes improved Bluetooth latency as well as improvements for Apple AirPlay 1 and 2.
So I hope that was a useful overview of the Quartet app series and gives you some insight into what Quartet can do for your jazz practice. You can download any of the Quartet apps from the App Store in the link below, and there are special Quartet bundles available if you're buying 2 or more. Just search Quartet Bundles in the App Store or use the links below. Thanks for watching.